All right, walk me through it, man. With last time that we talked, I think you were at like 500 or 400. You were probably around like 500 followers, something like that. You're at 750 now, so this
Yeah,
is
it's like four something.
yeah, dude. This is great progress. Great progress.
Yeah, I think we was at 400 and something whenever I talked to you last time.
Heck yeah.
But the majority of these new followers are from my top 10 posts where I'm like in the car talking. That one
Yep.
just keeps getting me new followers. Like my other videos I've made since then get me like maybe somewhere between 1 to 20, and then
Yep.
but that one is at like 300. So
Yep.
that's cool.
Well, I was gonna say if your other posts are getting you between 1 and 20, that's still a great sign. You know, like it's gonna be that way for a while. You're talking about this one here. Let me see how many views. How many views does this pin one have? The one that has like 25,000.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's gonna keep happening for a while. Like on my page, you know, my most popular video, it's still like that one's just bringing in a lot of the traffic, and then once it starts to slow down, like you'll start to find followers from the other posts. But if you're still getting followers from the other posts too, like that's totally fantastic. You're definitely on the right track here. But anyways, keep going.
I have a few questions though, like about it. Is like, because I've made several ones that are very similar.
Yeah.
And that I think are objectively better.
Okay.
But this one is performing better. When one performs well, or doesn't perform well, how do you go back to like study it and know what went well, the reason it's doing well, and the reasons why other ones don't do well?
Yeah, that's a great question. First thing, the way that, again, obviously as you know, I'm not an expert, but the way that I look at my videos that I post is that I have an objective for every post. So like not every post that I make, I like very rarely actually do I have the intention of it like going crazy viral. A lot of my posts like recently have just been because I'm getting a lot of the traffic from that one post that did well. So now like a lot of my posts, the goal is just to share more in-depth knowledge and gain more of the trust, you know?
Right.
And so first thing that I think about is like, okay, what is the objective with the post? You're saying like some of the videos after the one that blew up, you said are objectively better, but they performed worse. And so when you say they performed worse and they're objectively better, can you like give me some context there?
I guess what I'm just trying to, I mean, not really performed worse, but like, did it bring in the same amount that one did? Like,
Sure.
whenever I first made that good one, I was convinced like it wasn't going to do well because I like looked at it, I thought it was like really bad.
Yep.
That it sounded bad, everything was bad about it, and then it did
Yep.
well.
Yep.
I think that I look at the skip rate, you know, and the retention rate, and the retention rate on that one is like almost all the way through.
Yep.
Whereas the other ones, you know, it wasn't all the way through.
Yep.
But like if I were to objectively judge it, I would say that my cadence was like sloppy and stuff on that
Sure.
one. But I don't know what stood out in that video that made people overlook that to keep
Let's
watching, you know?
Yeah, let's go through with the chat. We'll watch these videos and chat. You let me know what you guys think about Elijah's video. Here's something to consider too, is because there's obviously a lot of factors that play into the video's performance. It could be, you know, timing could be a factor. It could be the topic could be a factor. It could be your delivery, your tonality, you know, so like there's a lot of things that we can look at here. But I like where you're definitely in the right direction of like, okay, why this video did better than the rest? Why did it do so? That's a great question to ask. So, all right, I'll pull up the 25,000 one here, and then let me duplicate this, and we'll pull up next one. I think it got 11,000 views. Maybe that's the one you're talking about.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one, yeah.
Fantastic. All right, chat. So let's watch Elijah's first video here.
Husband for 10 years now, and this is the secret.
Let me start from the beginning. My bad.
I've been with my husband for 10 years now, and this is the secret that keeps us from absolutely hating each other, but still making progress in the gym. We have a romantic date night one time out of the week, so that way we can still get our favorite foods and then get right back on track for the rest of the week. That way we're not compromising our relationship, and we're still able to stay on track for our goals. So if you're gay and love the gym, then follow for more. I've been with my husband for 10 years.
I really like the way that you cut this, by the way. I can learn a thing or two. I've noticed that some of my videos are like more slow than I originally edit them to be. Let me watch it one more time.
now, and this is the secret that keeps us from absolutely hating each other but still making progress in the gym. We have a romantic date night one time out of the week, so that way we can still get our favorite foods and then get right back on track for the rest of the week. That way we're not compromising our relationship and we're still able to stay on track for our goals. So
Nice. Fantastic. Okay, and then let me watch. So I'm watching this one. What's the length of this video? This roughly like 35, 40 seconds or so?
No, they're all 20 or under, I think, or right at 20.
Okay.
I've been with my husband for 10 years now, and this is the secret that's kept us from making each other miserable in the gym after all these years. Train together.
All right, hold on. I think I've already spotted a difference from the 25 to 11,000. I'm just gonna keep going back and forth for a second.
I've been with my husband for 10 years now, and this is the secret that keeps us from absolutely hating each other but still making progress in the gym. I've been with my husband for 10 years now, and this is the secret that's kept us from making each other miserable in the gym after all these years. Train together a couple times out of the week, and the rest of the week, do your own thing. Because you both have different bodies, different goals, and different energy levels at different times of the day, and if you're coming in and doing the same program every time, then someone's goals are getting sacrificed. Train together some of the time, train separate some of the time, and balance that shit out. If you're gay and love the gym, then follow for more.
These are great, man. Short, right to the point. I mean, this one again, like you have less than 1,000 followers. This video got 11,000 views. Like this one's a hit. Same with this one with the 4,000. Like these are all great. Now, if the question is like, how can I get it from great to excellent? Let me take this video, and I'm gonna dissect just the script of it. You don't have to go like this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go like too crazy by any means, but best thing to do for me is to like let me write down exactly what you said, and then that's gonna be an easier way for me to compare versus like just going back and forth from each video.
Right.
You know?
Right.
By the way, I like that your videos are super short. Like I love how simple the sentences are, because what I've noticed for me, like out of all the videos that I've made that have done really well and that I've helped others do really well, it's always like the simple script structures like this, where it's like just a couple sentences, very simple. Those always outperform the ones that are like super in depth, just because the more like detailed you get, the more of a chance that people are going to be confused or not have the same level of understanding, you know? So
Right.
I think that the way that you are going about these, keeping them like 20 seconds or less, super great.
Okay. Good.
11K views, and this one was 25K views. Okay. All right, so the one with 25K views, you said, I've been with my husband for 10 years now. Oh, whoops, hold on. I think you started the exact same way on both, but hold on.
Yeah, I did the same way.
Fantastic. All right. 25K views. I've been with my husband for 10 years now, and this is the secret that keeps us from absolutely hating each other, but still making progress in the gym. Okay, so first part of the sentence was, I'm writing while I'm talking. So you said achievement here. Achievement. This is the secret. Okay. Secret's a good word to use. Power word. That keeps us from absolutely hating each other. Very dramatic language. I like that. That was good. Dramatic language. Like I like that you said like this is what keeps us from, you know, instead of saying like this is what keeps us from arguing, you said absolutely hating each other. That was good. But still making progress in the gym. And so you have the overall goal here. You said this is the secret. Okay, that was your first sentence in the 25K views. One with 11K views, you said I've been with my husband for 10 years now, so same thing. This is the secret. You use secret again, that kept us from making each other miserable in the gym after all these years. And you said train together a couple times of the week. Okay, so let me see. Did you use the same text on both? Oh, you used different text.
I changed it a little bit. Yeah, but I kept it almost the same. But
Okay.
A little different.
Okay.
I couldn't get I don't know, I just felt that the original hook text that I used just didn't really match with the video about
Sure.
it. But maybe it does, and maybe I just overthought it.
Sure. Sure. Well, right now, like, obviously I'm not going to say by any means do I have the magic formula or I'm an expert, but one thing that I'm going to do is figure out all the similarities first and then just take note of all the differences. So, like, right now, the first sentence of the script, pretty much, it's like 99% the same. Like, you just change the last part of the sentence. So I don't know if like what you said in the hook is going to be the answer we're looking for in terms of like why it underperformed. What I'm starting to think just immediately is there's probably something with the text hook. I've noticed this for myself multiple times where, like, literally I've had a video like 10x the engagement just by changing one or two words in the text on screen. So I'm almost immediately thinking, yeah, it's been freaking crazy. I used to do that test like almost on a daily basis in January, and then Instagram started flagging that type of stuff, you know, like, because it's too similar. But I definitely have noticed that, and we have someone he's not in the chat right now, but we have this guy that's usually in the lives. His name's Niv, and he literally grew his account, which I don't recommend doing this, but he posted the same video like 5 times a day, every single day, and all he did was just change the color of the caption, and then he would change a couple words, and we were looking at his account, and literally just by a couple word changes on the text on screen, the various differences in engagement was insane to see. So my first assumption is it could be something with the text, but let me keep watching before I give you like a full synopsis, you know? All right. So we have this. So the hook is basically the same on the 11K views. I'm going to write that down. Hook is roughly the same here. The next sentence you say, for the one that performed really well, is we have a romantic date night one time out of the week, so that way we can still get our favorite foods in and then get right back on track for the rest of the week. Okay, so this is you revealing the secret. Hold on. Secret revealed. By the way, do you know what your retention rate is on either of these videos? I don't know if you're busy or if you can look it up.
I can. Yeah, let me look real quick. Hold on.
Like, I'd be curious to see, do most people drop off after the second sentence on both videos?
Yeah, on the 25K view, and the skip rate is 25.3%, and the retention rate, the average watch time was 12 seconds.
Okay, average watch time is 12 seconds. Okay, fantastic. Okay, and that's on the 25,000 view one?
That's the 25. Now I'm looking at the other one. 1 second.
Yep.
It has a skip rate of, the 11,001 has a skip rate of 24.4% and a watch time of 10 seconds. So
Okay.
that's probably why I think it pushes much, right? Because it's a few seconds less retention rate.
Yes,
Or
yes.
other reasons.
Yeah, just give me 1 second here.
Yeah, take your time.
Okay, so you said the 25-second, 12-second average watch time. Let me watch this video one more time. Because I have another theory here as I keep looking at this. Everything I'm going to give you is theories, but I'm going to give you tactical tips to experiment with that I think could help.
Okay.
So hold on 1 second.
I've been with my husband for 10 years now, and this is the secret that keeps us from absolutely hating each other, but still making progress in the gym. We have a romantic date night one time out of the week, so that way we can still get our favorite foods and then get right back on track for the rest of the week. That way.
Okay. All right, here's my next theory when I'm just looking at both scripts, because what I love that you did is you basically copied the first sentence, which makes it easier for us to dissect this because there's less variables to consider. Like if you had a different first sentence on both videos, then it could very easily be like the first sentence is the reason why one, underperformed or didn't. But because they're the same, we know, okay, it's probably not the first sentence because you literally said it in both videos. That's great. Okay. So now the second thing I'm looking at is, again, the first difference that I'm noticing is just the text on screen, which literally just those couple words could be a difference of however much engagement, we don't know. But then the next thing that I'm seeing is that on the one with 12-second average watch time, and again, I'm going to iterate this a lot. You've already heard me say this a ton of times. Chat, everyone listening, I'm not by no means am I an expert at the algorithm, but this is a good experiment for us to do And if this is right, then, you know, hopefully we can keep doing stuff like this. So going back to you, Elijah, the next thing that I'm looking at with the one with 25K views is your second sentence is like noticeably longer than your second sentence on the one with 11K views. What I mean is, here's what I mean. So you start off both videos by saying, I've been with my husband for 10 years, and this is the secret that keeps us from absolutely hating each other. And after you say that, the second sentence, you immediately reveal what the secret is. But it takes me more time to understand the secret in the one that did 25K views than it does for me to understand the one with 11K. So here's what I mean. The one that is the one that we're trying to match, 25K views. You said, I've been with my husband for 10 years. This is the secret. You said, we have a romantic date night one time out of the week so that we can still get our favorite foods, and then we can get right back on track for the rest of the week. So that's like the whole long secret versus the one that is half the engagement. Your secret is train together a couple times out of the week. And then, of course, you say, and the rest of the week do your own thing. I'm not saying, like, please do not take this as, like, this is the absolute truth of why it did.
I'm following that.
But this is something that I'm starting to theorize when I'm looking at it, as, like, your second sentence is, like, half the length of the first one, which, hold on, let me look at what 1J's saying. Okay, someone in the chat just gave their input, but one theory that I might have is because you're saying in the first sentence that, like, you're going to give away a secret, it makes sense that the average watch time on the one with 25K views is more because it takes longer
to hear the whole thing.
Yeah, it takes longer to understand what the secret is on the 25K view one than it does to take or to listen to the 11K view one. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, totally.
The other thing that I play around with a lot and that I've been noticing is and 1J is a viewer in the chat here. 1J, you would understand this too, is there are words, like the power of your words. They're actually called power words, but there is a lot of significance to the words that you choose for the text on screen. For example, like I had a video, this happened last month, where I made the exact same video and my text on screen was explaining viral yap methods, but you have CTE or something like that. That was my text on screen. That video got like 400 views or something. But then all I did was just change the text on screen. This was like last month. I changed the text on screen to how to yap, except you have CTE, and that video I think has like 3,000 or 4,000 views. So it was literally like a 10x increase just by the words that I chose on the screen. What could be happening here is train without destroying your marriage, Jim Gay version. Maybe, I don't know, it's just a theory, but there could be some sort of significant difference between like test the strength of your marriage, Jim Gay version, versus train without destroying your marriage. Like it could just be a little bit more wordier to read that whole text hook versus test the strength of your marriage, you know? Could be. Again, these are all just theories. I don't know, but
no, I like that. That's true.
I have seen time and time again that the words that I use definitely matter. But this video did get 11K views though. So, and that's 10 times more than you're following. So like that to me is for sure a good sign. Even the one that you posted 4 days ago with almost 5,000 views now, like that's fantastic. You have these are all outliers on your page, so you're killing it. But I'm just saying, like, to get to the next level, maybe it could be a difference in those words that seems so minor, but I've seen it time and time again that does make a difference. Just how I was saying the text on screen has different meanings, I wonder if, like, let me see how I can verbalize this. Train without destroying your marriage versus test the strength of your marriage. Although it's a difference of two words, I do think, and chat, let me know if I'm right or wrong on this. Though just you changing those two words, there's a significant difference in meaning that comes across from reading that. Like how I interpret. Here's what I mean. Like when you say train without destroying your marriage, well, if let's say I'm in a happy marriage, like I'm probably going to skip that video because I know I'm not destroying my marriage anytime soon. But if you say test the strength of your marriage, well, now I might want to stay around. This, again, all hypothesis here. but I might want to stay around more because it appeals to both people who are like in rocky relationships and strong relationships. I want to test the strength of my marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I wonder if that's why I'm saying like a lot of my thought process here goes to the text on screen because of the meaning that is conveyed by the words you chose. Test the strength of your marriage. For example, like in my situation, like I'm in a very happy relationship. I'm not in any chance or in any spot in a rocky part of my relationship. So if I saw like train without destroying my relationship, I might not be as inclined to watch versus test the strength. Like, of course, I'm going to want to stay around because I want to see, like, am I really in a, is this relationship really as good as I think it is, you know? So that could be.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. We'll only know for sure by you testing. So my first tactical suggestion for you is to try for the next video that you do. I love that you're doubling down on this, by the way. Like, I'm glad that all of these videos are outliers on your page because this is clearly something that people want. So I would say for the next video, try the text on screen that you have for the 25K view one. Test the strength of your marriage, Jim Gay version. Just copy that to a T and see if it makes a difference.
Yeah, I like that, and I do agree with that. And like, because I thought about that for a little bit as well, because I changed it anyway, so like maybe that's the reason why. But do you think that if I had kept my original text hook on there, that it would have caused like different issues? Like if people didn't see a correlation between the text hook and then what I said, or do you think that that's minimal?
Well, let's see here. No, I think it still aligns with the central topic that you're talking about is you're basically giving like a fitness tip to you're giving a fitness tip rather for couples so that they don't have arguments regarding fitness or whatever. Like it still applies for both. You're still testing the strength of someone's marriage, I think. But if you want to play it safe though, like if you obviously know more than me in terms of this topic, but if you think like as you're saying it, I don't know if the text is aligned with what I'm saying, then what I would suggest is keep the first sentence and the last two sentences that you said. You said in the 25K view one, you said that way we're not compromising our relationship and we're still able to stay on track for our goals. Like just keep that last sentence as well. It clearly did well on the super outlier video that you did, Yeah, try that. And of course
ties it in too.
Your last sentence is great too. If you're gay and love the gym, follow for more. Like that's great. It's super good. I definitely recommend always making that follow call to action. So now my next question is train together a couple times out of the week. Okay, so now here's my next thing that you might want to experiment with. Okay, so my first tactical tip is to try for the next couple videos to just keep the same text hook, which is the test the strength of your marriage, and of course keep the same first sentence. These are all videos from your page, so you can copy as much as you want, So I would say copy as much of those as possible. Keep the same text. Now, what I would try to experiment with, just as like maybe a one sentence difference, is what I'm noticing is that in these videos, you say, this is the secret that's keeping us from doing X, Y, and Z. And then in the next sentence, you reveal the secret immediately. So you basically you open a loop in the viewer's mind. So the viewer's curious, like, oh, I wonder what the secret is. And then you immediately give them an answer. And so for me, if I'm watching this, I mean, again, these videos have done fantastic. I'm just saying, like, if you want to try to get from 25K to 100K, maybe, you might want to try two things, which is one, have the secret be more towards like the end of the video, possibly, or you do this, because I've seen both work. So you say, this is the secret that's kept us from making each other miserable in the gym. If you do decide to answer the secret right away, then open another loop as well. So like, just think about that always. Like if you're and I don't know how do you come up with these videos, by the way? Like I don't think you script them, right? You just kind of have an outline in your head.
what I do is I think about it and think about it and think about it all. Like,
Fantastic.
Like for a few days, and then
Yep.
I come up with an idea, I write it down in my notepad, and then I will just try to shorten it down, and then I just try to memorize it and then just read that.
Fantastic. Okay, try. Here would be my suggestions. A couple of them. One is, again, keep that same text hook from the video that performed the best. So copy that one. Obviously copy the first sentence. That seems to be doing well. And now I would try a couple things. One is, however you prepare, like think of these videos, think about, okay, this is the secret. And then the second sentence, if you do decide to reveal the secret, as soon as you give the answer, try to think of a way to get them try to think of a way to make them ask another question. For example, like, I'm just going to riff. So obviously take this with a grain of salt. But if you said like, I've been with my husband for 10 years now, and this is the secret that kept us from absolutely hating each other, but still making progress in the gym. That's the first sentence. The second sentence, you give the answer immediately, which you said, we have a romantic date night one time out of the week, so that we can still get our favorite foods, whatever. But what we do next is where the secret really takes effect, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's me basically, like, I'm giving the answer a little bit, and then I use the word but. What we do next is, so now I'm opening a loop again. You understand, like, what I'm... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah. I see other creators that are good with that.
Exactly. Yep, I see that all the time. That could be one that you might want to try, is like, again, if you decide to give the answer right away, give part of the answer and then say like, but what we do next, or whatever, however you decide to word it, but blah, 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 blah. You basically want to think of like, again, and I think what you're doing, how you prepare the videos, is very similar to how I prepare in a lot of ways, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't think you need to be sitting at a computer like how I do and script word for word. But think about like, okay, I know my first sentence, even if you have to record line by line, like your videos have cuts in them. So you have the freedom to just do it line by line and just say, all right, first sentence, I know my first sentence is good. Like, we already know what to do there. Second sentence, let me give part of the secret, and then let me figure out a way to keep them hooked for another sentence. And then, just kind of like just that game of open the loop, close the loop, open the loop again, close the loop again, keep doing that to the end. And just keep it very short like you're doing. I think you'll find a lot of success doing that.
Awesome, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, man. Feel free to come as many times as you want on these lives.
I'd love to.
Awesome.
All right, thank you so much.